Alright, once it's plugged into the wall, you're going to turn it on by using this button right here. So it'll take a couple seconds to turn on. If this was shut down as a hard shutdown, it would take about a minute or two to turn on with a countdown on the screen. But because this was just hibernating, it's going to come on very quick. Alright, so once it turns on, you're going to get this screen right here. This is the screen that you get every time it turns on. The way that you start a patient is if you go up to this button right here, it's going to say patient, and you're going to click register. You're going to just type in all your patient information right here, but because today we're just doing a test, this patient's going to be test, with a nice random number and a random birthday. Once you have enough information in, you're going to see that exam and pre-register light up. You're going to hit exam. Now that you're in this screen, you're ready to x-ray. So over here, if you click onto basic extended, you're able to start changing some of your programs. So this first one here is called ortho trauma, but if you scroll down, you have all different types of options. So ortho trauma, general, cardiac, vascular, and urology. For what we're doing today, being spine, we're going to stick with the ortho trauma. If you want to get crazy, you can click on the body part that you're doing. So you can go from legs, pelvis, body, shoulders, head. So we can stay with the body. When you scroll down into here, you get standard, reduced dose, and increased dose. So standard is your standard body. Reduced dose would be for a smaller person or a child. Increased dose would be for a larger person or, obese person. We're going to stick with standard. If you scroll down into this one, you get all different types of x-ray options. So fluoroscopy is live x-ray. Pulsed fluoroscopy is live x-ray under a pulsed exposure. So you click into here, 8 pulses per second. Just reduces dose. Digital radiography is for a high dose, high quality image. For this, you're only going to get still images. It's not fluoro. Then you have subtraction and road mapping, which we won't use for the spine. We're going to just click into fluoro so that we can use the fluoroscopy. So now that we are ready here, we're ready to x-ray. So we come over to the C-arm. On this panel here, this is kind of the panel that runs the C-arm. We have all types of buttons here. So if we need to move our machine up or down, we use up and down here. The laser is built into the C-arm. So if you want the laser, you can click it on and it turns on the machine. The laser does have a timeout timer, so if for some reason you notice that your laser is not on anymore, don't worry, because you can turn it right back on. All of those options that were on the screen are also here, so if for some reason you need to switch between fluoro and digital, they're both right here, and it will change on your screen. You also have the subtraction, road mapping, and pulse fluoro. Over here you have your R's, just like the OEC. Magnification is here. you have 2 steps of magnification. So if you notice, I click once, it lights up. If I click again, it's still staying lit up, and then you can shut it off. Boost is like a boost of technique. And then motion, if you have a lot of motion, like extra breathing, or the patient is twitching, if you shut this off, it kind of uses a breathing technique almost to help with your image quality. Over here is your collimation. So if you want to cone in or cone out, you can cone there. If for some reason your collimation is this way and you need to turn it, you use these ones right up here. The ones up top are coning collimation, so it'll cone down like a circle. Up here is your technique lock. So if you're using a technique that you really like and it's working very well and you don't want the AEC to change it, you would just click this button here and this will never change. It'll stay where you put it. This is kind of used for your subtraction. We don't use this very much, but if for some reason you need to change the contrast quickly on your image that's on the screen, if you click this button, it'll change your first screen. If you click this button, it'll change your second screen. This button here will save your image that you took. So if you took an AP or a lateral and you need to save your image, that's your save. And you need to flip through your images on your C-arm, you can use these ones as well. We do not use print because we don't have a printer. This is another up and down option, just like the other side. And it has a 5-minute timer. So if after 5 minutes it starts to alarm, you just let your surgeon know and then you reset your timer. Also, there's image rotation up top here, so if you want to rotate your image that's on the screen, you can do it on the screen or you can do it here on the C-arm. Up top, there are 4 buttons to move the C-arm. They are all labeled here at St. Joe's, which is great. We have Wig Wag, so if you click here, you'll notice that it unlocks and lights up, and you can go back and forth. You have the green, which is the boom. So the boom will go in, and it'll go out. You have tilt, which is your angle for cauda and subclad. This way, and this way. And then you have blue for AP and lateral. One thing to notice with lateral, so if you go into lateral, 90 degrees is here, not here. The reason that this C-arm goes past 90 degrees is for the spin, because they need a little bit of the overlap to make that spin. So that's a little trick about the lateral. So, so now your surgeon, after taking some AP and lateral images, asks for you to do the spin. The first thing you're going to do is actually take an AP and lateral image with the C-arm to make sure that you're in a good spot. So the best thing to note when you're doing this is the only button you can use is this button and up and down. If you touch anything else, it could ruin your spin. So, we'll start here. I'm going to use my laser to help get it perfect. And I'm going to use this in and out just for my AP to center perfectly over the spine. Once I'm here, I can only use this button. So, now I'm going to unlock here. Spin all the way down. To get a lateral. For the sake of the video, I didn't take any x-rays, but you would take an AP and lateral image just to make sure that that works and that you're in a good spot. Here I can see that I am exactly on the spine because it's not a real body. So now that I know that I can make it all the way around the body without hitting the table, I can get a good AP and a good lateral, I'm going to start my spin on the screen. So I'm going to use this button right here. This is the spin button. And I'm going to get this screen right over here. It prompts you to do exactly what you need it to do. So which body region do you want to examine? We're going to click the torso. We see that his belly button is facing up. So we're going to flip him so he's laying on his belly. You have to use this picture here to decide what side the C-arm is on. So just imagine which way your body is facing and our C-arm is on this side. Down here, we always want to have high quality, and it asks which navigation system to use. We're not using any navigation, so we want to make sure we press none. Use this selected system as default. We want to say yes. We always want to use the default settings. They're set up perfectly. So then we're going to press Start 3D Scan. It's very simple because it tells you exactly what to do. So it says move the C-arm manually into desired end position of the 3D scan. The best way to get this is just to take this from the 90 and push it all the way down so that it's past 90. If you look at the screen again, it's going to say check end position is set. And then it says move the C-arm manually into the start position of the 3D scan. So the start position